Good afternoon, Central Arkansas. This is a live look at Las Vegas, where the countdown to tip-off is on. In a little over 6 hours, March Madness continues for the Razorbacks as they take on 4-seed UCONN. THV 11 is there for the big dance. Tyler Cass, Sierra Clark, and Ryan Reynolds bringing us the latest morning, noon, and night. Now we're going to hear from them coming up in just a moment. Thank you for joining us today at noon. I'm Mackailyn Johnson here with meteorologist Nathan Scott. Now, first things first, Nathan, before we talk about weather or go back out to Vegas, I heard some rumblings that you might have said something about not liking sports or the Hogs. You want to clarify something up for me and for the viewers at home?
So on Vine, I said I was not the biggest sports fan, and that's just because the way I grew up. My family was really not into sports that much, but I do support the Hogs.
Absolutely.
I support the Razorbacks 100%. One day, I would love to go to a game. Are you going to see me decked out in Razorback gear one day? Maybe, maybe not. We'll just see.
Just give me a Woo Pig Suey. Come on.
Woo Pig Suey.
All right. Now that's out of the way. Let's go ahead and go straight to Vegas, where you find our Sierra Clark and Tyler Cass. Guys, tell us what's going on today.
Yeah, guys, look, no one who's made the trip here to Las Vegas ever need to be converted into being a Hog fan. But Nathan, glad to see you're finally on board. No, out here, it's the rabid of the rabid. Look, it's still, early in the morning here. We're 2 hours earlier, so it's just after 10. But Sierra, I know you've already run into Hog fans who are ready and excited today.
Yeah, I was in the Vine show earlier, and I ran into some Hog fans. They're feeling really good. It's spring break, so some kids are out of school. So it feels like the cards have fallen perfectly for the Hogs. And I've seen also a lot more Hog fans. We saw some Hog fans on our flight coming from Dallas, and so more Hog fans than UConn fans. So it's going to be exciting to see that Hog call in Las Vegas in just a few hours.
Yeah, and you guys are seeing the part of the Vegas Strip right now behind us. It's been bustling 24/7 the way it always is. I have a feeling that in 3 to 4 hours, it's going to be highly concentrated, about 200 yards that direction. That's where T-Mobile Arena is, and that's where the Hogs are playing. We'll have more from out here in Vegas coming up in just a few minutes. For now, back to the studio.
All right, thank you, Tyler and Sierra. Like you said, we'll check back in with you in just a little bit. But the game is at 6:15 tonight, and you're right where you need to be to watch it, right here on THV 11. Be sure to tune in to watch the Razorbacks try and reach their third straight Elite Eight appearance.
All right, from fun now to get a little more serious, because we have the potential of seeing some active weather moving in here tonight and especially on Friday. Temperatures out there right now are on the warm side into the 70s. It's 73 in Little Rock. It's 75 in Arkadelphia. We will see some breaks in the cloud cover as the day progresses along. And there's also a small chance there could be maybe a spotty to isolated shower. Temperatures today topping out into the upper 70s to lower 80s. But then we've got the weather concerns really building in here tonight and especially tomorrow. Here's the latest from the Storm Prediction Center now. And there's a bullseye of the potential of intense storms, severe storms in southeast Arkansas. So if you're watching us in Stuttgart, Pine Bluff, Rison, Camden, Monticello, McGee, Dumas, you certainly need to stay weather aware Friday afternoon into Friday evening. But even here in central Arkansas, we don't want to let our guard down. I'll have more on the timing of when the storms arrive and what they could produce coming up.
Nathan, thank you. Right now, authorities in Washington and Arkansas are searching for answers after a Pine Bluff man charged with murder here in Arkansas is named a person of interest in a double murder in Vancouver, Washington. There, police found the bodies of a woman and her young daughter Wednesday. Michelle Melendez and her 8-year-old Layla were reported missing and were last seen Sunday, March 12th. Vancouver police believe the bodies found yesterday are theirs based on unique characteristics. Kirkland Warren from Pine Bluff is a suspect. Now you see him here appearing in court via video. Vancouver police had already arrested Warren Sunday before the bodies were found on charges of domestic violence. He's accused of shooting up Melendez's apartment. He's also scored high on a dangerous person assessment, partly because of the pending murder charge here in Arkansas.
He's obviously has some issues. And why would we want that kind of a person out on the street?
Does the family think he's involved in this?
Completely.
Now, back in 2017, Warren was arrested and charged with murder and abuse of a corpse in Jefferson County. He bonded out a few days later. The judge presiding over his murder case here in Arkansas caught wind of what's happening in Washington and has revoked his bond. So for now, Warren is being held in Washington on a fugitive from justice charge. There's no bail, meaning he's not going anywhere until this is all sorted out. Now today, police in Hot Springs will continue investigating a shooting that left one man dead. It happened Monday afternoon on Laser Street. Officers responded to multiple 911 calls reporting shots fired, and witnesses report seeing several people running and driving away. 20-year-old Jaden Walker was shot and later died from his injuries. Police searched the scene and seized several guns. The DEA is warning the public of the dangers of fentanyl mixed with xylazine. It's a powerful sedative used by veterinarians. The CDC reports more than 100,000 Americans died between August 2021 to August 2022 from drug poisoning, with 66% of those deaths involving opioids like fentanyl. The DEA says it seized xylazine and fentanyl mixtures in 48 out of the 50 states, including right here in Arkansas.
So this drug is used by these drug traffickers to intensify the opioid high. It actually extends the high for longer periods of time. However, it comes with great dangers. It increases respiratory depression and actually can cause very severe skin infections.
Because xylazine is not an opioid, naloxone does not reverse its effects. And tonight at 5, THV 11's Frederick Price will give us a closer look at this new trend. Health experts across the country are keeping a close eye on a potentially deadly fungus that is spreading rapidly inside healthcare facilities. The fungus is called Candida auris, and it's been around for years. The Arkansas Department of Health isn't too concerned about it, with 0 cases here, but they're staying alert.
It's one of the yeast which can be very drug resistant. So resistant to a lot of antifungals which we routinely use. And then the other thing which we are noticing is that it is easily transmissible.
Dr. Atul Kathari with the Arkansas Department of Health says although it's easily transmissible, it's more of a concern inside healthcare facilities than out and about in the general public. While there are 0 cases in Arkansas right now, there was one reported last year. We're waiting to see if a Manhattan grand jury will decide to indict former President Donald Trump. Sources tell CBS News their work is nearly done. This comes as a federal grand jury meets on a different case in Washington, looking at whether the former president mishandled documents marked classified. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
The waiting game resumes today in Lower Manhattan to see if a grand jury indicts former President Donald Trump. It's investigating a payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels, which former Trump fixer Michael Cohen claims Trump authorized in 2016.
Because Mr. Trump has always had a reputation for having a rather loose relationship with factual accuracy. So if he calls this legal expenses when it is in fact hush money, I can certainly see why that could violate a New York statute.
Trump, who is running for president in 2024, has remained defiant and denies any wrongdoing.
Just a continuation of the most disgusting witch hunt in the history of our country.
Sources tell CBS News Trump is considering holding a news conference outside the court in New York if he is indicted. Once witness testimony wraps up, prosecutors will formally present the charges they're seeking. Then they'll ask the jurors to vote.
Grand juries generally do what the prosecutor asked them to do.
There's also been a development in the separate investigation into the former president's handling of documents marked classified. A federal appeals court has ordered Trump lawyer Evan Corcoran to testify about his communications with Trump concerning the handling of classified materials. Corcoran is expected to appear before that grand jury meeting in Washington on Friday. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Among the evidence he's expected to share, documents and private audio files that could shed some light on what Trump said before and after the FBI searched Mar-a-Lago last year. Now, it's been 13 years since the Affordable Care Act, also called Obamacare, became law. President Biden, who was vice president at that time, will hold an event to highlight the anniversary of the signature health care bill. The White House says more than 40 million Americans have enrolled in medical plans under the Affordable Care Act. Abortion in Wyoming is legal right now for another 2 weeks. A judge temporarily blocked a ban that took effect on Sunday. Wyoming's constitution guarantees adults the right to make health care decisions, but the Republican legislature passed a law saying abortion is not health care. In her ruling, the judge said the state cannot legislate away a constitutional right. Well, it's been a roller coaster of a season for the Arkansas men's basketball team, and head coach Eric Musselman's wife, Danielle, has seen it all. THV 11 Sierra Clark caught up with the First Lady of Razorback basketball. We'll hear what Danielle had to say about the season coming up. Nathan?
And we're watching out for the potential of strong to severe thunderstorms moving in here on Friday. And that means everything is on the table, including the potential of tornadoes. I'll let you know who has the highest risk of seeing a tornado coming up.